Hey everybody, welcome back to Pop Views where we talk about movies. And today we're going to be reviewing movie that just premiered on Netflix, and it's called We Have Always Lived in the Castle, and it's based on Shirley Jackson's novella that she put out way back when. But anyway, before we do get into this today, I want to mention something that I've mentioned to you, I think it was in the last episode, and that's if you have not seen the new Netflix series about the Dark Crystal, most definitely do yourself a favor. Even if you weren't really a big fan of the original movie, and I wasn't, but it was back when I was a teenager when I saw that movie.
Appreciate it more now.
I appreciated it more now because I rewatched the movie itself, and I really kind of liked it. But the TV series, the Netflix series, is just outstanding. And when you get done watching that, most definitely watch the making of, because it was fascinating to watch how they do this puppetry.
And how much work actually goes into it.
Mm-hmm. And how very little CGI is involved. We've been saying for a long time, that CGI is great, but don't ignore practical effects. Right. And that's
and
what
that
this
proves
does.
the point.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So anyway, if you haven't seen it, most definitely do yourself a favor and watch this. It's really good. But anyway, let's get into the new movie. Actually, it came out in 2018. We've Always Lived in the Castle, but it just premiered on Netflix streaming. So it was directed by Stacy Passon, and it stars Thais. I'm going to mess up her name. Thaisa Farmiga. Alexandra Daddario. I'm almost like you today.
Yeah,
these names.
These names are ridiculous.
Crispin Glover is in it, and Sebastian Stan. And you may remember him as Captain America in all those movies. But anyway, I haven't read the book.
I have.
So
twice now.
You have. So why don't you tell the viewers what it's about and how closely it resembled the book?
Well, it's all about a family of two girls and a uncle who live in a old castle-style house, and it's their castle. And one of them has been accused of murdering the family. And a little bit later into the movie, they get a visitor from a cousin. And all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, I think it's important to point out that although she was accused of murder, she was acquitted. But now the whole town still thinks she did it, right. And it was the murder of her family, right? Including her mother and father, and so. Don't want to give too much more away about it because otherwise it would ruin the story. But the cousin that shows up, played by Sebastian Stan, is really a jerk, and he comes in with the intent to steal the family fortune, and it's pretty much all about that,
I will say that it matched the book almost perfectly. They did a really, really good job of following along with the book. And just so you know, this is a drama. They call it a thriller. It's more of a drama than a thriller.
Yeah.
It's all about the feel of the movie. The movie has a very dark feel to it.
Yeah.
You just from the beginning, you could just tell something's just not quite right with this family.
I think it's typical of Shirley Jackson's writing, though. I mean, most of her stuff is pretty dark, and
yes.
In the beginning it's slow moving, but as always with her stories, stick with it because it gets really interesting. It never lost my interest. I thought it was pretty well done. I wasn't crazy about the directing. I thought the directing could have been, somebody else could have done it better, but overall the movie was great in my opinion.
Storyline's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean,
and this is one of those where it's all about the storyline. It's all about the slow reveal.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well, again, typical Shirley Jackson.
Right.
I mean, even her short stories, like The Lottery, it's a slow build up, even though it's a short story.
A very slow build up.
Yeah. But what was that other movie we watched not too long ago that was The Haunting of Hill House? and that's another Shirley Jackson. And it was a series on Netflix, and
Also worth a watch.
yeah, most definitely. But again, it had a slow build up and almost lost me at first, but then I stuck with it, and again, typical Shirley Jackson, turns out fantastic. Now, you were saying this isn't so much a thriller, and it's not, because it's so slow moving. But I should say you shouldn't expect a thriller in the beginning. By about I want to say maybe about half an hour in, it starts really picking up. And then, toward the end, there's this huge climax. And so then it becomes kind of a thriller. But yeah, it's not what I would necessarily classify as a thriller. It's more of a drama,
That's why I say it's definitely a slow burn. But it's one that's worth the watching and waiting to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, definitely. I thought Crispin Glover was excellent in this, but then again, I'm biased because I really like him to begin with. I don't think I've ever seen anything with him that I didn't like. He was recently in American Gods, and that's on Stars, I think. But he was excellent in that because he plays Mr. World,
right?
And you couldn't have picked a better actor. Because he's so kind of creepy, and I mean, I know you haven't read the book or watched the series, but Mr. World is just that. He's just really creepy and kind of aloof, and yeah, I mean, that's so Crispin Glover.
I think the girl who played Mary Cat, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce her name,
Thaisa Farmiga. I think that's
she was excellent. She fit the book character to a T.
Really. Yeah.
Just that little bit of oddness. Just you can't really put your finger on it, but there's just something not quite right.
Right, and her sister. I mean, there's such polar opposites. Her sister, who's played by Alexandra Daddario,
she's almost a Stepford wife.
Yeah. She's the one who was accused of murdering the family, and she seems kind of out there, kind of very, very Stepford wife, like you said, But so the two characters, the two sisters, are just polar opposites of each other,
right?
And but yeah, I thought everybody in the cast did an excellent job. They really did, especially the four main ones here,
I'm curious to know, what did you rate this, considering you haven't read the book?
Well, okay, so here's one of those things. I mean, I think I would. I thought it was a great movie, except for the directing. I thought the directing lacked, but because of that, I would have to take it from an 8 to a 7. But still, great movie. And definitely worth a watch. But again, I haven't read the book, and that's something that irritates me about people who review movies like It. I mean, this happened the last time in the It Chapter 1, and it's happening again now, where people are going, what a lousy waste of time, blah, 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 blah. The TV series was better. Have you ever read the book? Well, no, and that really bothers the hell out of me, because I mean, personally, I think now I haven't seen It Chapter 2 yet, but it's one of my favorite King books, and I mean, I think it's a great portrayal. It's almost verbatim to the book.
And watching this movie, you read the book. Mm-hmm. It's that close.
Is it?
It's that close. Yes.
Really?
There's, like I said, there was a few things that they actually elaborated on in the book a little bit more than they did in the movie, but it was cut for time, obviously.
Right. That's to be
which
expected,
is fine. And it didn't change the book at all.
Right. What I hate about movie adaptations is when they change it. When
I mean, it's one thing to leave some things out, but it's another thing to tell an entirely different story. Like, for instance, The Shining with Jack Nicholson.
Right.
What a
different story.
Total disappointment. I mean, the movie was good. Nicholson was excellent as ever, but it just told one part of the story, really.
I don't even think Nicholson was excellent, to be honest.
Didn't you like him?
I liked him as the crazy, but in the beginning, if you've read the book, when they move into the hotel, he's just a normal, everyday person.
guy. And because it's Nicholson,
Nicholson is already over the top
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the beginning.
Yeah,
and that bothered me.
I totally agree with you there. But otherwise, I thought the movie was pretty good. I mean, and that's saying something because I don't like Stanley Kubrick. I've never liked his stuff. I like The Shining and I like A Clockwork Orange, but those are the only two films that he's done that I really care for. But anyway,
Well, I will say that I gave this movie an 8 too. The directing was a little off, so maybe go down to 7.5. I agree with you. Some of the
directing wasn't horrible. Don't get me wrong.
there was something off on some of the directing, some of the scenes.
Yeah.
But I thought it was excellently done, so I'll give it a 7.5.
Yeah.
Especially since it fit the book.
Have you seen any of the Avenger movies or like the Captain America stuff?
No.
I haven't either. And, and so Sebastian Stan, he looked familiar to me.
But sure, we've seen him in so many advertisements.
I couldn't put my finger on it and then looked it up and found out, he was, or I think you looked it up and you found out that it was Captain America. And I thought, well, okay, maybe that's where I've seen him before, but he's got a mask on. So why would I? Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, he's a pretty good actor.
Yeah.
He plays just a jerk, but he plays the part well, most definitely, and, but yeah, anyway, again, going back to the acting, I thought the acting was excellent. Set design was great. Production was good, except for maybe the directing a little bit, but even then it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't awful. I see that IMDb has rated this as a 5.5 overall.
2,000 reviews.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm going to stick with a 7. I think it was very well done, So
I recommend it.
yeah, most definitely. But anyway, let's get out of here, man.
Sounds good.
All right, folks. Until next time, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time.